good evening, good morning, depending on where you're watching, and welcome to another PlaceOS live product update. My name is Jeremy. I'm the head of product here at PlaceOS, and I'll be taking you through the session this evening. I'm also joined by Candy, who's our lead UX designer here at PlaceOS. Unfortunately, a slight change to the schedule due to illness, so we'll be doing our AI building-based chat segment at a future date. But this evening, we thought we would still take the opportunity to introduce you to a couple of new features that are either coming to the PlaceOS platform or may have already been deployed out into production in the last couple of weeks. We're always working on new features to include in the platform. Obviously, our roadmap is very heavily driven by our existing customers, so we do encourage you, if you're watching this and you are a PlaceOS user, to please provide any feedback or input on the product, and we will put that onto our roadmap for consideration moving forward. So we are obviously striving to keep building new features and release new features out into production with the platform with relative frequency, which we seem to be doing quite well. So, and that obviously formulates part of these live updates as well. So this evening, we're going to be taking a look at our new events-based feature, which will introduce a event management system to the workplace. We obviously understand that a lot of workplaces do run internal events for their staff, be it lunchtime sessions or after work sessions. This might also be used for something, if you're having clients or visitors come into the building for some kind of function, you may use this feature to manage that event as well. So that's one thing that's been provided to us through feedback from our users to put some form of event management into the platform. So that's where we've arrived at. Alongside that, we're also going to take a quick look at our the introduction of recurring meetings into our room booking feature, our updated navigation for our concierge platform, and also the room management, which will allow basically end users or facility managers to take over the management of their spaces within the PlaceOS platform. So that's something new that we're bringing into the concierge platform as well. So I think to kick things off, we might hand over to Candy, who's going to walk you through our new event manager platform. So Candy, take it away.
Thanks, Jeremy. So this is our new events platform for concierge. As you may have seen last time, we did have a UI for staff on the Workplace app on how to view events and how to book into an event and add to calendar. So this is for the concierge to manage. As you can see, the layout and style may look a bit different from the previous concierge branding that you have seen before. So we do have a new nav because our nav keeps expanding with new features. So we decided to simplify things by just having facilities, bookings, admin, directory, and entertainment and reporting. And underneath this has some subcategories. So you can collapse and expand these menus. So I'll take you through the events section. So this is our new events. So we can have a list view and calendar view. I'll just take you through the list view. As you can see here, the concierge can see an event. They can see the level of room, how many people are actually attending that event, and the status that it's active, that it's now live. So if you select an event, you can promote events to get more people to attend this event. I'll just view this event. So this pretty much looks like what it looks like in the Workplace app. The only difference is that obviously concierge has access to edit the event. So the big new feature is how to create an event. So click on this button here, create an event. So this will walk you through on how to create it. So you'll have to fill out the general info, then some details, and then actually going to publish it. So this is what the form looks like currently. You just add basic info like event title, organizer, the type of event, category, and tags. You can also add whether it's in building or online, or it could be both. You can select the address of which building that will be, level, and room. It can also be a single event or multiple recurring events. So I'll just pre-select this. For the sake of this, we're going to call this event Pancake Day. So this is going to be a social gathering, and the category is going to be food and drink. So you can really have any type of event. There's quite a few options that you can choose from dinner galas to meeting or networking. And then for category, you have things like whether it could be a charity, business and professional, family education. It's really what you want to set it to. So I'll just go save and continue now that this form is pre-filled. So in here you can add things like the event image. You don't have to add an image, but you'd usually get more viewers if there is an image attached to an event. You can add your description summary. You can choose to promote this event. So what that means is that will just get added to the top section and enlarged in the Workplace app as a feature. So people are more likely to see that event. So in here to upload an event, so you can crop, delete image, and I'll just go save and continue. And then in here, you can like preview what your event would look like. This is Pancake Day, little description, and this is basically the title, what it looks like on the actual Workplace app. So if you get that published, that says event has been successfully published, and you can have a quick URL link to send off to other team members or just preview in your browser. And yep, and then you can just view those events on your calendar and manage wherever you like from any date, time, fitness. Really, it's unlimited. And yeah, that's our new update.
Thanks,
Back to you,
Candy.
Jeremy.
That's looking really good, coupled with obviously the new concierge navigation bar that you mentioned there, and maybe a little bit of a sneak preview for people who are watching. There's some additional features that are loaded into that nav bar as well that we'll be bringing into concierge. But obviously, keeping in line with PlaceOS and being able to book things in rooms and desks, it made sense that we could obviously book events as well. That feature is also enabled for external access, so you can share that event and have people register to that event, get the numbers and all of those kind of things back as well. So a really well-rounded addition to the PlaceOS platform, and something that will be available in likely the next month or so, available for use actually in PlaceOS. This is obviously coupled with the fact that employees can see those events and register for them as well. As Candy mentioned, there's a bunch of detail that can be put onto those events. We can, cap the people count and various different things like that, alongside the event as well. So we think that'll be a really nice addition to PlaceOS, and hopefully take some of that clunkiness out of having to use external event platforms and various different things, and be able to do it from the one central booking tool. So thank you, Candy. Appreciate it, and it's looking really good. Obviously, for anyone who is joining us live this evening, you're welcome to ask questions or put comments into the chat, and we can answer those for you as we move along. If you've got any specific questions about particular feature that we're talking about tonight, or anything that Candy and myself cover off during the presentations, please feel free to ask questions through the chat there, and we can address those for you. So I think what we'll take a look at next is our recurring bookings. So this is something that people have been requesting for quite a while now. There's been some challenges in terms of implementing this particular feature from our perspective, just getting things aligned, particularly where we're supporting Microsoft and Google integrations as well. So trying to get that feature parity across the board. But we're finally at a point now. This is in a limited release or in a beta release at the moment, that is available to end users who are using the PlaceOS Workmate or the PlaceOS hosted and managed solution from us. We can enable this feature pretty quickly. So we'll jump in now, and we'll take a look at the recurring bookings. So to kick things off, nothing looks really any different. We jump into our room booking form, and we fill in our details, so we can just put test meeting into here. Obviously go through the process of selecting our start time. So we'll say 7 p.m. local time for me. I'll be the host in this scenario. And now you'll see our new recurrence field that is sitting down below our meeting information. So much like probably more akin to the Google Calendar style, for people that have used that, we provide a couple of common items in our drop-down list. So obviously daily, weekly, the last Tuesday of the month annually. We can also do a custom reoccurrence. So we can come in here and we can do the repeat, once every day. We can set a date that we want the series to complete. So, May 30th, or we can do after a specific number of occurrences. So, again, really just mimicking that functionality that people are familiar with in things like Outlook and Google Calendar. The obvious difference here is that we, couple this with the features of Place OS as well. So, if, for example, we leave this on for May 30th, and we'll save that. In this case, we won't have any attendees. So we now go through the rest of our normal room booking flow for those people familiar with Place OS. So we can select our system here from those that are our room here for those that are available at the particular time that I've selected. So we can say Sydney room 4. It's allowing me in this case to attach catering to this, noting that in this case that catering would be attached in a reoccurring fashion. So if you did want to have water or coffee or any of those kind of things attached to your recurring booking, we can certainly do that through this workflow as well. And obviously assets, if you wanted to have something like a flip chart set up, or if you wanted to have access to, say a Microsoft Surface Hub or electronic whiteboard, or any other assets that your organization may offer to staff to enhance their meeting, we can add those assets in here. From here, we can just go ahead and confirm that booking, and that'll go off now. It'll create that meeting. So we accept that. We'll see that appears down here, just pending confirmation from Outlook or from the Exchange calendar system that's actually been accepted and approved. But we can also just jump into our calendar and we can see that recurring series has actually been created exactly as we told it to via PlaceOS into our Outlook calendar. So if we jump forward a week, we'll see that series, as expected, ends on the 30th of May. So that's effectively the recurring meeting feature that is now coming out in PlaceOS. As I said, this is available in a limited capacity at the moment to our users who are on our Workmate managed solution or a SaaS solution, and obviously this will be rolled out, moving forward with future PlaceOS updates to other clients as well. So something that we're pretty excited about to have that feature now included with PlaceOS and support those recurring bookings. As you saw in this example, we do have the full gamut of features enabled for our room booking experience. So that does include our attendees, our room, obviously, catering, and our assets as well. So effectively, if you enable all of the room booking features in PlaceOS, this is where we end up now, coupled with our recurrence feature as well. So that's a very nice addition that we've got in there. Moving on to the next feature that we've got, as I mentioned, we're working through adding some additional functionality into our concierge platform. So concierge has typically been our management entry point for concierge floor host facility managers to come in and do, administer the bookings, room bookings, and things like that. For concierge to look at building visitors and approve them as they come into the building. We can do our catering menus and all of those kind of things via our concierge interface as well. As you saw with Candy's demo earlier, we are working through updating some of the look and feel of the concierge application. Obviously, in this case, we've still got the current style navigation, but we're cleaning this up to make this a little bit more logical and user friendly as we start to add some more of these features in. So basically, the state that we want to end up in is having concierge able to manage your obviously day-to-day visitors, bookings, room bookings, desk bookings, etc., but also give users the functionality to actually administer the infrastructure that underlays those bookings. So being able to manage the bookable desks, being able to manage bookable rooms, catering menus, which obviously already exists. So starting to go through and backfill some of those features. The one that we've got available today, again in limited release via the concierge, is our room manager. Traditionally, we've managed rooms via the back office interface that some people may be familiar with, where they're referred to as systems. We've now surfaced that functionality out into the concierge, which basically gives you the ability now to manage your rooms within your buildings across floors, different buildings in different regions, depending on access, and toggle various features of those. So in this case, you can see we've selected the building as Place OS Sydney, and we're selected onto level 1 in this case. So it's returning us now a bunch of rooms that are available that are attached to level 1 in the Place OS Sydney building. And at a quick glance, we can see majority of these rooms are bookable. However, you can see test room 4 here is not bookable, and the AV demo room is also not bookable. So we can use this interface now to toggle that state of the room being bookable or not. So we can also see obviously the room name, we can see its level, and we can see its capacity for people. So if we click on the edit function, this basically now brings up our room editing modal. So we have the name, which is the system reference name. The display name is the friendly name that your users will see. It'll be shown on the booking panel and our room booking app and things like that. The room resource email address, we can put a charge code attached to this room. Obviously set the capacity here, and we can also toggle the bookable state of this room as well. So we can take this room out of a booking circulation if we wanted to. We can pop a description in here that may help users when they're looking for a specific room. You can also add your room features in here as well. So you can sort of go HDMI input, wireless presenter. We might put LCD in here, for example, that it's got an LCD screen. We can enter our map ID. So this is what allows us to define the state of that room on our maps, be it red, amber, or green, depending on the room state. We can set our time zone. This is typically set at a building or a regional level, but we can obviously set the time zone here, and we can upload images to this room as well. So this can help users when they're looking for a room to book to identify, if that room has the features, or it's in the right position or set up in the right way for them to have their meeting, and then we can just save those details into that room. And when we're not in the test environment, we get the message back saying that was successfully updated. And then obviously, as I said, we can take these rooms out of their bookable state, and we can also create new rooms from this interface as well. So this is something that a number of administrators have requested from Place OS, that we provide the ability to more easily add rooms into Place OS without having to use the back office interface, which some people can find to be quite daunting. So now we can simply add new rooms by completing the required fields here, going through that information and saving this room, and that will become effectively instantly bookable, provided the room resource exists in your calendaring system. That room will become effectively bookable as soon as you've saved that into the system. So that is our room manager. As I said, we're starting to, this will become available with a few other management tools via the concierge interface, including the updated navigation bar over the coming months. So we'll start to release some of these features out into that concierge application. Obviously, they're relative to features that are enabled in the Place OS platform as well. So if you don't have room booking, obviously the access to the room management interface won't be available. But if you had desk booking, you would have access to manage the desks and do those kind of things via the concierge interface. So that's a brief overview of those features that we've got coming, both into our workplace app, being the recurring bookings, and also into our concierge app with the uplifted navigation design, and also the room management and various other tools that will be coming available into concierge. And as Candy demonstrated earlier, we've also got that event manager that will be getting released in the coming months as well. So that will enable you, obviously, as you saw, to do event management and event bookings for your buildings across floors, across regions, depending on what it is that you're trying to target. So On that note, I think there appears to be no questions today. As always, you can reach out to us after these live sessions via email or LinkedIn or your preferred communication method. If you've got any questions or feedback or want to have a more in-depth look at some of the features that we've spoken about this evening in the live session, or contact your PlaceOS account manager or representative to find out more information about those. As I also mentioned, we've got a very active roadmap which we're constantly reviewing and working through, as you've seen in this session. So we do encourage you to provide input into that roadmap, to suggest features, and let us know what works and what doesn't work, what you might like to see in the PlaceOS platform as we move forward, and we can obviously put that onto the roadmap for consideration. So we do appreciate all of the input that we get from our users, and obviously that really helps us, tailor PlaceOS moving forward with the features that we do include with the platform. So I think on that note, we might wrap up the session this evening. As I said, we will come back in the future, and we'll look at that the missing element from tonight, which was the AI building chat session. So we will look to reschedule that and obviously put out the necessary communications via LinkedIn and email newsletters and such when that's ready. And hopefully in a month's time or so, we'll join you again in another live session and have a look at some more exciting features that we're bringing into the PlaceOS platform. But on that note, I will wish you all a good evening or a good morning, depending where you are, and look forward to having you join us again in the future. Thank you.